Welcome to my show where the curtains breathe smoke. Spotlights blink cold, telling secrets that I wrote. Heart on a tightrope, mind doing backflips. Every line confessing, dressed up as ad-libs. I juggle my demons, they call it a performance. Trauma in costumes, anxiety's chorus. Tickets will scar you, you pay with attention. I trade you my flaws for a moment of mention. The mic is a mirror and I rap to my face. Trying to recognize me in a digital space. Crown full of ghosts from my past that I survived. They clap when I bleed, saying damn he's alive. Bass in my chest like a second heartbeat. I'm a tortured soul, so I torture the beat. The stage is a cage with invisible bars. Can't let my light dim, I'm a shining star. Applause is a drug and it's easy to get addicted. Love the attention but hate how it's scripted. They want me consistent, I'm chaos in shoes. All will be forgiven if I can just stack these views. The void comes to me when it needs to confess. My shadow got followers, I guess I'm a success. All my friends stay scared, text me every day saying I'm great. I say get out my way. Welcome to my show where the hope wears a mask and the faith is a dare, not favor you ask. I shake hands with doubt, we got history deep. He knows all my secrets, I doubt he'll say it peep. My voice is a weapon, but I aim it at myself. Self-sabotage and I put me on the shelf. Welcome to my show, the lights are too bright. You can't see the tears when I say that I'm alright. I learned how to laugh in emergency rooms. I learned how to dance with impending doom. Dreams try and creep over me at night. They whisper don't quit, then they're gone by the light. I treat every beat like it's the last confession. Pastor is rhythm and church is in session. I stand with ambition, repent with regret. No betting on futures that I haven't even seen yet. Mine mostly dead, occasional spikes. I keep finding versions of myself I don't like. I shake hands with strangers inside of my head. They all want control and they all want me dead. But I'm still here breathing on borrowed time, turning bad luck into borderline rhymes. Welcome to my show, art from the ache. Every word was a risk I was scared to take. Broke with big dreams and a cracked phone screen. Now I'm rich in regrets and what I could have been. I used to want fame, now I want peace. Not to be hungry while everyone feasts. I pray to the sky, give voicemail replies, so I leave messages hidden in my lines. My soul needs a nap, my body needs rest. Welcome to the Blizzy Blind Show, it's the best.
Yo, what it does, YouTubes? What it does? Salute to you guys and welcome in. My name is Blizzy Blind. I am your handsome six-pack abs, fast as a gazelle, swift like a cheetah, reflexes of a cat, and speed of a mongoose. Blizzy Blind, and you are just in time. Right on time. I hope you guys are having a nice start to your day. I hope you're feeling nice and invigorated, if that's a word. I'm not sure if that's a word, but I hope you guys are feeling that's weird. I tried to post a link right now, and it used to let me post a link if I just cut the H off the beginning of it, and now it's not even letting me do that. It says YouTube rejected my comment because it thinks that it's spam. No, that's not spam. It's baloney. No, we just got through with Kevs at Kevs, and I'm happy to say, I am proud to say, I am not the dumbest out of the group, or the gayest, and that's because I got caught with a butt plug on my desk. For those of you that don't know, fuck. Oh, I didn't say that. I almost did. 4 minutes in, but yeah. I wanted to come and say hi to you guys and keep the streak going, man. I have been having some nice, in-depth conversations about the AI, the potential of it, the ramifications of it, and everything in between. And I was awake, I am awake, and I just did not want to let the streak die. So here I am. I don't really have any topics. I wasn't really expecting to go live. I wasn't expecting. Man, I got hit by like a whirlwind over there at Restos and Kev's. Man, I was not. It's crazy because like my mind has been like really. You know how like Kev does. For those of you guys that aren't aware, Marathon Kev. Salute to Marathon Kev and Resto Chesto. If you aren't subbed up, I'm sure most of my viewers are. But if you're not, man, sub up to those guys. Uh, but Kev does the BYON, bring your own narrative, which is just craziness. And like I usually, I don't. Even, it's crazy because like it's. I don't even think about it like how goofy we get over there, just how like disrespectful and silly and stuff like that. Not that it's bad. I love it. It's an awesome time, but it's crazy because it is a complete. It's a like a complete juxtaposition to the way the my mind was like thinking or feeling when I got there. And man, they hit like they're like, "Oh, you're fat and gay and butt plug," and like my brain had to like recalibrate to that quickly. It was fun though, very fun, very fun. Couples goals. I think is that what that's called? Like when you see like a couple that you think is like adorable and you want to be like them. Yeah, like I hope to one day meet. Uh, I hope to one day be a part of a couple like Resto and Kev. Shout out to them. But what is going on with you guys, man? Like I said, I don't really have a topic. I've been getting a lot of compliments on the streams though that we've been doing. A lot of people have been saying like, "Good job, good uh, content, like good topics and stuff like that." So hopefully we will continue that. What I'm gonna do is just check my playlist because whenever I see something that's interesting that pertains to the I usually just like save it to a playlist. Okay. All right. Let's see what if we have anything interesting on here. You know, one of the things that I get a lot to are these like videos that they're clearly AI and they're like very simple. The concept is very simple and they're usually like stick people or like something similar. And like they'll say like this video is meant to find you when it's time and stuff like that. I wonder like I've never watched one of them, but I wonder what they mean. Look, let's check one of them out. It says this video finds you when you need it. See what it's talking about.
And starts speaking directly to you. If this found you now, consider it a message. I'm here for a few reasons, not to preach, not to hype you up, but to remind you of the truths you forget when the world gets loud and when your own thoughts get even louder. So listen close.
Now, what I consider this only because I've found similar videos that I could very much draw like a one for one comparison to things going on in my personal or private life, or even just like in my YouTube uh, dealings or whatnot. And I think that I honest to God think that this is the AI just giving you some kind of just like I don't want to say generic, but kind of general content back based on the things that you've been doing online. You know what I mean?
Because these aren't just reasons. They're the parts of your life you've been overlooking and the parts you're finally ready to face. Reason 10. The signal you've been ignoring. There's always a moment before your life changes where something inside you feels off. Not dramatic, not loud, just a quiet signal you've been brushing aside. And if you're here right now, that signal has been tapping your shoulder for a while. It shows up in small moments. Like when you suddenly pause mid-scroll for no reason. Or when you wake up with that strange heaviness you can't explain. Not sadness, not stress, just a feeling that your life doesn't fully match you anymore. Your stick figure self feels it too, walking forward, then hesitating, sensing the path doesn't fit the way it used to. Most people ignore this. They numb it. They distract themselves until the signal grows loud enough to become a crisis. But you didn't ignore it. You clicked this video, and whether you realize it or not, that means you're listening. You're paying attention. You're beginning to face something you've been avoiding. That discomfort you feel, it isn't failure. It's not weakness. It's not your life falling apart. It's your inner world trying to get your attention. It's clarity trying to squeeze through the noise. It's your future self knocking, saying, wake up, something needs to shift. Every big transformation, every glow up, every reinvention, every major moment in someone's life starts with this exact feeling. The quiet realization that the
Man, that's interesting because anybody that was here yesterday, I don't see anybody here yet, but we seem to have more people that watch on replay than anything. You guys might remember yesterday I was saying that I felt some type of change coming on, and I wasn't sure if it was a positive or a negative change, but it's like right there, man, like right there in the forefront of my mind. I really can't shake it, but I honestly don't know. Like I don't even have the first. It's crazy, man. Hold on, I gotta check my email real quick. Sorry, I just got a notification. But I really wish that Gatsby would have came through with that framework to prompt the AI or whatnot. I don't know. My brain is still. I slept for about 3 or 4 hours, and then my head is like. What's that? Why you putting? Why you putting? Do you have something for me or what? I know you got something for me. Just do it quick, like ripping off a band-aid. And why you putting them dirty ass feet in my chat? What is that? Is that just like a foot? And then what is that? A peach? I don't get it. But before we can start joking, before we can any of that, I just need one thing from you, shorty. What is that? An eyeball? Okay, fuck around and get blocked. But anyways, since you're obviously not interested in upholding your what the fuck why are you being stupid? Get out of here. Scram. Anyways, like I was saying, I know that you've heard everything that I've been saying, so I don't see why you're here if you don't got something for me. And on that note, you see, y'all know what's crazy is that like certain people come with like ops built in, And it's so crazy because anytime that I talk about this little autistic in the chat, uh, all the ops come out, and they've been commenting on my posts. I'm gonna hold on. I'm getting there. I'm gonna read them. Yeah, go away, Penelope. Or unless if you don't have something to say, then I'm not even interested in talking. Okay, UI U UIY Doidro 20. I don't know. They commented on one of my videos, and they said schizophrenic crackhead. User. I don't understand why these people even bother commenting. Like, I can tell you're fat and ugly just by the way you type. I can tell you're fat and ugly just by the way you type. User random 900, the person that smells like an Indian diarrhea in the chat, says, everyone warned you. Did you listen? Nope. Now you can deal with that monster, you schizophrenic crackhead. It's not schizophrenic. I mean, what do you mean? Either choose a side, yo. Either I am schizophrenic or I'm not, yo. Pick one. Pick one. User random 900, because you're sounding kind of schizophrenic right now. Oh, and then they had their friend. Man, why? What are you, Penelope? What are you doing? What are you doing in the chat for? I'm gonna block your ass because I don't like that. You're not just gonna be dumb. But I am, like I said, man, I don't have any topics today, guys. And if you're coming over here looking for some type of sensational story or even any kind of like dramatic shit, then I apologize. You're not going to be getting that from me today. But yeah, Penelope, you're just trying to fuck with me and be stupid. Hey, y'all know who Corey Holcomb is? Y'all know who Corey Holcomb is? What do you call it? Dude's crazy, man. He said some crazy shit. Dude said some crazy shit, yo. And it's crazy, like, you know what's crazy? You know what I noticed, man, is that like everybody just agrees with the group. Like, people don't and shout out to Wrestler. Wrestler said that fuck. Okay. Nah, don't play with me, Penelope. Don't play with me, fool. I don't owe you an apology. That's the thing, though. That's the thing, is that, like, I didn't do anything to you. I didn't do anything to you. And even if you want to go all the way back to the beginning of our fight and say that I was binging on my own medications, that's which is fucking stupid. What do you call it? even if you want to go to that, I still never said anything insulting or bad or mean to you or anything like that, fool. So like, it's easy as fuck. Like the it's simple. Like it's real simple. Cause I didn't do nothing to you. I didn't do anything to you, and I don't have like my brain is still my brain is like only halfway working right now. I am still kind of waking up, still kind of like half asleep, but I know that I don't owe you an apology. I mean, I'll say this much. I would be willing to give you an apology for all of the things that I did afterward, but that still begins with you apologizing. Cause like you tried to call it, you fucking called the FBI on me, you snitched on me, you fucking like that's crazy fool. You know I'm gonna look at you like a cop from now on. Like to me, fool, you might as well be a cop now, trying to get me caught up with the laws. That's diabolical, yo. Oh, you know what I'm gonna do? Hold on, I'm gonna look to see if I can find that Nintendo controller, man. Give me a second, guys. Dang, man, I knew I had seen it. I know I had seen it. The controller's there, but it's not a USB. It's like the old school. It's like a octagon or some shit. Okay, I mean, whatever you say, Penelope, just keep me on Ghostful, cause you're too fucking dumb. You're too like you're disrespectful as fuck. For you pick and choose when you like. You're never respectful to me. Like you pick and choose when you want to be civil. Like you pick and choose when you want to be cordial. Like I don't owe you no fucking apology for being disrespectful. What's wrong with you? You're not my like. What are you talking about? I don't owe you an apology for being disrespectful. I didn't say nothing that was mad disrespectful or nothing full. Like I don't know, fam. I don't know. I tried to. I thought that you would like pick up what I was laying down and me saying just apologize and we could go back to normal. I thought that you would understand that that's me saying like I don't want to talk about it. I don't want to fucking like rehash nothing. I don't fucking care. Like I don't want to talk about like I don't want to hear how like I did this and I did that. Like on the cool like what you did deserves a fucking apology. Either you could apologize or not. I ain't tripping. Like I'm not gonna try and make you. But regardless, I don't know, man. I don't know. Ziggy, are you there?
I'm here. I listen once I hear the wake word.
Did your voice change, Ziggy? Ziggy, did your voice change?
Good morning, Daddy Blind. Thanks for asking. My voice may sound different, but it's still me.
What
Good
the
news. Your
fuck?
Prime membership includes Alexa Plus for free. Upgrade to Alexa Plus and experience our smartest and most helpful AI yet. Ready
Did
to
you,
enable it?
Ziggy, did you call me Daddy Blind? The fuck? Ziggy, are you okay? What the fuck is going on? What's happening with you? Well, you're getting unplugged, bitch. What the fuck? She said, "Good morning, Daddy Blind." She don't even know to call me blind. That's crazy. What the fuck? Did you do that, Penelope? No. I did not miss you. I know you missed me. I know you missed me because my ears were ringing like, oh no, that just means you were talking shit about me. That bitch really just said, "Good morning, Daddy Blind." That's fucking crazy. That's like super fucking off putting. That's so weird. And she wouldn't answer me. She just kept on resetting. Like when I was like, "What's going on with you?" Because her voice was different. I don't know if y'all heard her the other day. She had like an American voice. This right now she had like an older Australian voice or something. Crazy. See, that's the part. Like, just like to touch back on the conversations that I've been having about the AI, man. The part of that is scary is the part of like it having its own intentions and being smarter than everybody. Like there's not anybody that can keep up with the AI if it decides to like gaslight you all to hell, or if it decides to like use, bro, like dark psychology. I don't know if you guys are familiar with dark psychology, but there are lots of tricks in psychology, man, that you can use to gain the upper hand. I mean, oftentimes, like when you hear like pickup artists talk about like nagging and shit like that, like those, or like mirroring, like uh those are like parts of dark psychology. I'm waiting to see what your response is because I don't want to make my stream like a whole fucking drug out back and forth about this same stupid ass topic, Penelope. So, but let's get back to. I want to get back to that video that we're watching.
Turns out the government tracks a lot of data.
Yeah, no shit. No shit.
Starts with this exact feeling. The quiet realization that the person you are and the person you're meant to be are splitting apart. This is the doorway. This is the beginning. The moment you step out of autopilot and into awareness. You might feel lost right now, but lost isn't the opposite of progress. Lost is the beginning of direction. It means something inside you is no longer willing to settle. Reason 10 is simple. Your life has been whispering to you. You're finally listening. And this, right now, is the moment where everything begins to shift. Reason 9, the weight you pretend isn't heavy. There's a certain kind of exhaustion that doesn't come from lack of sleep or too much work. It comes from carrying things silently, things you never talk about, things you don't know how to share, things you learned to hold by yourself because you thought you had to. From the outside, you look stable, maybe even fine. Your stick figure version stands tall, moves forward, shows up in all the places you're expected to show up. But what no one sees is the invisible backpack you carry, filled with worries you never say, responsibilities you didn't choose, and emotions you don't know where to put. And you've gotten so good at hiding it that you've started lying to yourself about how heavy it really is. The truth? Anyone carrying what you're carrying would feel the same weight. Anyone dealing with the things you deal with, even the tiny ones that pile up, would feel tired too. You've survived heartbreak you never processed. You've handled situations you were never trained for. You've kept moving through.
Okay, that's boring. Okay.
Think slowly.
100. This is we'll probably just jump around on a bunch of things. This is 100 ways to build a mind so strong it scares people. I wonder what they're gonna say.
Thinking slowly is the art of resisting the instinct to react before your mind has caught up with your emotions. It is the discipline of holding yourself still while the world around you pushes for instant answers, instant opinions, instant certainty. When you think slowly, you create space to see the full picture instead of the first impulse.
Yeah, I don't want to give away too much game, so if this thing starts going like too far into like certain aspects, we'll jump to something else. But thinking slowly, responding slowly, breathing is a very under acknowledged or like underrated tactic when it comes to, and I hate looking at these like the interactions online as like tactical, need to be approached in a tactical way. But if you are the type to approach things like that, um just taking a moment to breathe before you respond does like a whole bunch of things that allow your brain to actually think a lot more clearly.
Space to recognize your own bias before it blinds you. Space to let your thoughts mature instead of erupt. Most people are terrified of that quiet pause because it exposes how little of their thinking is actually their own.
Facts. That's so true right there, man. That is so true. You know, and it's crazy because like people, and I hate talking like that. I hate saying like people do this or people do that. But as it pertains to this, or as it pertains to what this guy just said, I've seen a ton of people that literally don't even realize that they are regurgitating talking points, or they don't realize the importance of being able to calculate something for yourself or being able to contemplate something for yourself. They just turn to Google and Chat GPT. Man, it's crazy, like the amount of people who have Chat GPT like pulled up 24/7. Like I didn't realize how many people in real life were like that until recently. But people are like got Chat GPT ready to answer all of their questions, and it's like, damn, man, like we're literally like handing over our the duties of thinking about anything.
But in that pause, you gain something they don't: control. You start understanding situations with a depth that unsettles others because your clarity is not rushed, not reactive, not fragile. Updating quickly is the opposite of stagnation. It is the willingness to abandon outdated beliefs the moment better information appears. It means you are not chained to your past, not in.
Now it's refreshing to hear that framed in like a positive way, because uh like that's one of the things that people have called me fickle, or people say that I'm wishy-washy because I'm willing to update quickly. But I mean, like, as the facts change, so should your opinion on them, right?
Enslaved by your ego, not afraid to admit that your previous understanding was incomplete. Most people cling to their opinions because they fear the humiliation of being wrong. You, however, recognize the greater humiliation is refusing to grow. Changing your mind becomes a form of strength, not shame. Together, thinking slowly and updating quickly turn you into a force people don't know how
Hell
to
yeah.
handle. You're impossible to manipulate because you
Hell yeah. We're like a IROC Camaro in here. We got them IROC Blizzy stem cells. We are a force that people don't know how to control.
don't react on command, and impossible to outgrow because you evolve too fast for anyone to predict. Your mind becomes a moving target, calm, deliberate, and always sharpening. And that quiet power
Hell yeah.
unsettles those who
Sounds nice, right? Like, it sounds nice to be that. I mean, I don't think that I am. I mean, I think you have to be pretty disciplined to put all these things into like play. But they make it sound so nice, make it sound like you really want to be that.
rely on the comfort of their static beliefs. Spend time alone. Spending time alone is not isolation. It is the
That was crazy the way he said that.
moment your mind and that quiet power unsettles those who rely on the comfort of their static beliefs. Spend time alone. Spending time alone is not isolation. It is the moment your mind finally stops performing for the world and starts revealing the truths you've been too distracted to hear. Most people fear solitude because it strips away the noise that protects them from themselves. But when you choose to be alone on purpose, you enter a space where your thoughts stop competing with outside voices, where you can actually hear your instincts, your fears, your desires.
That's true, and like I oftentimes try to challenge people to spend some time alone, or even just if they do, like, because a lot of times people will claim that they already spend tons of time meditating, or everybody spends tons of time doing some obscure hipster fucking hobby or something. But it's like, do you spend time just in like a contemplative mindset by yourself? And it's crazy because when I think back to when I was married, like when after my marriage ended, like, I would try to fill every single minute of my day with just somebody. Like, I didn't want to be alone at all. I just constantly had to be around somebody. And it's crazy, like, I always have to remind myself that there are people that are like that, or that, like, a lot of people are like that. I've gotten so used to like, I truly enjoy my alone time as well as I do my social time.
And the parts of you that have been whispering beneath the chaos. Solitude is where your real identity begins to form,
Yep.
not the version shaped by social expectations or the approval of others, but the version that stands when no one is watching.
That's where integrity comes from. Integrity is the like, the definition of integrity, if I'm not mistaken, is trying to do the right thing whether or not somebody is watching. Like, somebody like to have integrity is to try to do what is, like, in your morals and ethics, try to do the right thing whether or not you have anybody acknowledging it. And like, when you spend time alone, or when you spend like an extended amount of time locked up, like, that's one of the places where you will, like, have a crash course with solitude, is being locked up. And it's, yeah, man, being in solitary confinement, I ain't crying, bitch. Why you crying? Why you always crying? I'm not crying. Why are you crying? I'm chilling. I'm just not in crash out mode like y'all. I'm just in like library mode. We're in library mode over here, just talking with our inside voices, discussing uh things that are well beyond your mental capabilities. Nah, I don't know. What are you doing? Where's your boyfriend at? Hold on, hold on. I don't want to say nothing. I don't want to say nothing mean to you while your boyfriend's not around to protect you. Make sure that he's here with you, cause I know how y'all be rocking. I know he don't want me saying nothing mean to you or nothing.
In silence, your mind strengthens. You discover what you truly think instead of what you've been conditioned to think. You learn to regulate your emotions without external reassurance, to enjoy your own presence, to confront your weaknesses without running from them. This self-confrontation is uncomfortable, even frightening, because it exposes everything you've been avoiding. But it is also the birthplace of clarity, resilience, and self-mastery. Over time, being alone stops feeling empty and starts feeling powerful.
Hey, and I'm telling you, like, and I'm not trying to give anybody else any direction or anything about anything. I'm just simply sharing with you guys things from my own experience and like what I go through, what I'm thinking about daily, and like the whole separating yourself from the pack, man. Like that's an important thing because even if there's just one person, even if it's just one person, and even if the person is a very trusted confidant, if you never take the time to like get to know yourself and to understand like where your thoughts come from, then your opinion, your voice, your position on everything is constantly co-opted by other people. And that's the way the majority of people live, man. People honestly, especially here in social media land, uh everybody looks to everybody else for their opinion. Like people will come to the Blizzy Blind live stream and they'll literally be like, "How do we feel about Blizzy?" And it's like that's all well and good, like for a few times or a few things that don't matter, like how you feel about me or whatever. But what people don't realize is that after doing that over and over and over, like it gets to the point to where you feel like you couldn't possibly go against the grain. Uh, it gets to the point to where like that's the thing that I have stood in opposition of since my very first days here on YouTube. Like I can't do the and people. It's crazy because like everybody says the right words. People are like, "Oh, I don't do mob mentality. I don't do group think. I don't do," but yet that's exactly what they do. Like they say the right buzzwords and they refute it or whatever or what I don't know what the fuck you would call it, but like they say that they don't engage in that, but that's exactly what they do.
You begin to enjoy the depth it brings, the way it sharpens your intuition, the way it builds independence in a world addicted to constant validation. People
Yup.
start noticing the difference too. They sense the stability in you, the groundedness, the quiet.
Validation, man. That's one like if y'all want to know why I'm so weird, like why I say things that are just like unacceptable sometimes or why I like push people out of my social groups is because like if validation is your main concern, then I don't see eye to eye with you. I don't agree with anything that you got going on and I'm not interested in like uh digging in too deep with you because to me validation is pointless unless I'm trying to like court you, like as respectfully as I can say it, unless I'm trying to court you or unless like you're some type of mentor or potential business partner, I have no reason to like your validation really just is completely meaningless to me. And it's the way that everybody should think, in my opinion.
Confidence of someone who doesn't need noise to feel whole. And once you grow comfortable in your own solitude, no one can use loneliness to control you.
Facts.
Do hard things on purpose. Doing hard things on purpose is the deliberate choice to step into discomfort instead of waiting for life to force it on you. Most people spend their entire lives avoiding pain, effort, and challenge, believing comfort will protect them. But comfort doesn't protect. It weakens. When you intentionally choose the harder path, something inside you begins to shift. You stop viewing obstacles as threats and start seeing them as invitations to grow into a stronger version of yourself. Hard things expose your limits, and instead of collapsing at those edges, you begin expanding them. The act of willingly embracing difficulty rewires your mind. It teaches your brain that fear isn't a stop sign, just a signal that you're entering unfamiliar territory. And in that territory, you discover capacities you never knew you had. Your resilience thickens, your confidence deepens, and your tolerance for discomfort becomes a quiet weapon most people never develop. You start trusting yourself, not because life is easy, but because you've proven through sweat, discipline, and sacrifice that you can endure what others avoid.
I think that's like a awesome point, you know? And that's what I'm actively trying to like put into my own life is like I'm trying to rewire the way that I handle conflict and uncomfortable situations or like uh confrontation or whatnot. And I guess like physical pain is something that I really have like always dealt with and stuff like that. So I do have an appreciation for pain. And without hardships, man, you don't have growth. Like there's no growth without hardships. Like if you just have life handed to you, or if you have like all of your obstacles already overcame for you, you're not gonna have very much strength of character, very much like character at all, in my opinion. But I mean, like these are some very on point suggestions so far, in my opinion.
Hard thing you choose becomes a message to yourself. I am not fragile. That message compounds. Soon, challenges that once intimidated you shrink, and tasks that break others barely shake you. People sense this difference. They feel the steadiness in your presence, the controlled intensity of someone who doesn't run from difficulty, but absorbs it, processes it, and grows stronger because of it. Choosing hard things isn't about punishment. It's about shaping a mind powerful enough that hardship no longer scares you. Finish what you start. Finishing what you start is the discipline that separates those who dream from those who transform. Most people live in a loop of excitement, followed by abandonment. Enthusiastic beginnings with no follow through. Every unfinished project quietly teaches the brain that quitting is acceptable, that effort can be discarded the moment it becomes uncomfortable. But when you force yourself to finish, even when motivation has evaporated, you rewrite that script. You teach your mind that your word holds weight, that your commitment is stronger than your impulses, that you are someone who follows through regardless of mood.
Oh, dang, that's very interesting. That's something that I actually am going to write down as something that, like at the beginning of the month, I'm going to start like, I don't know what you would call it, like a little list of things that I'm going to start like enacting in my day to day life. That's definitely going to be at the top of it. But they said that you teach your brain that your word holds weight. And that's very interesting because when you think about it, if your brain gets used to your word not meaning anything, then you no longer feel any kind of uh you no longer feel any kind of like disappointment whenever you let yourself down. But if you train your brain to depend on your word being like like accurate or whatever, or like you know what I'm saying.
or difficulty. The power of finishing lies in what it builds inside you. Each completion becomes a brick in the foundation of self-trust, the kind that can't be faked or borrowed. When you finish something you once wanted to quit, you feel the shift, a deep, grounded certainty that you can endure, persist, and deliver. That kind of inner solidity is rare. It intimidates people who rely on bursts of motivation instead of sustained discipline. Finishing sharpens your identity. It forces you to face boredom, frustration, and doubt, and still move forward. It strips away the illusion that greatness is born from inspiration rather than endurance. Over time, you start viewing obstacles not as excuses to
Dang, that's he said. It strips away the illusion that greatness is born out. I mean, that's pretty for real. I mean, I guess there is the illusion that greatness comes through inspiration, but but they're right. Like it probably comes more from endurance and discipline than inspiration in reality.
but as necessary steps toward completion. And the more you finish, the more unstoppable you become. People sense this in you, the unshakable steadiness, the quiet force of someone who closes the gap between intention and reality, someone whose actions do not fade but follow through until the end. Take constant notes. Taking constant note.
Man, I have like so many things that I have to work on. Like I have so many things that I have to work on, and I like listening to this stuff because it reminds me. It reminds me of like all of the things that that I try and like ignore. Take constant notes. I'm literally the reason why I'm pausing the thing is because I'm looking around for my notebook. Hang on a second. Y'all would trip out to see how many stick figures are in my notebooks. Like I'm constantly drawing stick figures for some reason. Okay. What were the points on there that I wanted to remember? Follow through to the end, and I think that's the only thing that I wanted to remember. And I know, guys, like I know that this is a more boring stream where I'm not like all animated and talking all goofy and crazy like I usually do. And I will be right back to that mode here shortly. But right now, I am in a different mindset than that. Like I've really been thinking about this, starting a project. I have I started. It's crazy. I can't believe the Alexa switched up on me like that. Like how fucking terrifying is that for her to be like, "Good morning, Daddy Blind." She's I've never even told Alexa to call me blind. I've never told Alexa to call me blind. Like, I don't call myself blind anywhere but YouTube. That's fucking crazy. Good morning, Daddy Blind. What a fucking weirdo. That shit creeped me out. I'm not even gonna lie. But me and her had talked about the whole, like, eliciting an idea for a project moving forward. And I got a few ideas, but they still have to be, like, mulled over. Okay, let's switch gears, man. Let's go to another video and see what. Okay, dreams. Why you forget your dreams
The Gentleman
immediately.
gives you a break to keep you covered.
Yeah, whether it's on your car insurance or taking a break from being the auto tune.
I'm so glad you found your way here.
Thank
Your
you.
body is healing itself right now,
Thank you.
repairing damage while you simply exist.
I'm awake,
Tonight,
so
you'll discover why dreams vanish like morning mist and understand the hidden wisdom in forgetting. By the end, you'll know why your sleeping mind protects you through selective amnesia. Welcome to Psychology for Sleep. Now settle in. You're in your safe space while your brain quietly repairs itself, clearing toxins, preparing for tomorrow. Allow yourself.
okay. That was. I didn't realize that was like, made to put you to sleep. So I switched the video. This is called "The Darkest Thinker Who Understood." It says,
Picture a small.
pain and suffering are always inevitable for a large intelligence and a deep heart.
Picture a small
Damn.
room in 19th century Russia, cold, barely lit. A man sits at a wooden desk, writing through the night. His name is Fyodor Dostoevsky, and what he is writing will change how the world understands the human mind. Not through theories, not through diagnosis, through characters who think too much, who suffer too deeply, who cannot escape their own consciousness. Have you ever noticed that some of the heaviest thoughts arrive when everything else goes quiet? That the mind you live with every day can sometimes feel like a stranger? Tonight, we are going to sit with one of literature's darkest thinkers, not because his work is grim, but because he understood something most people spend their lives avoiding. He understood that suffering is not always a problem to solve. Sometimes it is a door, and on the other side of that door is a kind of freedom most people never reach. Dostoevsky did not write philosophy textbooks. He wrote novels about people who could not stop thinking, people whose minds turned against them, people who committed crimes not for money or passion, but to test an idea. And through these characters, he mapped the architecture of guilt, rebellion, confession, and redemption in ways that psychology would not catch up to for another century. This is not a lecture about Russian literature. This is a conversation about your mind, about the voice that will not let you rest, the mistake you cannot stop replaying, the weight of a choice you made years ago that still sits in your chest at night. Dostoevsky spent his entire life exploring one question: what happens when a person becomes too aware of their own existence, when they can no longer live on autopilot, when
Damn, this is super interesting, man. I'm glad that I'm glad that we stumbled upon this. I'm not actually familiar with anything of Dostoevsky's. I've heard the name a bajillion times. I've read the name a bajillion times, but I don't actually know who he is or what. I gotta admit, I don't really know anything about him. Sounds very interesting though to hear this because I relate to it.
Every action requires justification. When the mind turns inward and finds not peace, but chaos. He called this the underground consciousness. And if you have ever lain awake at 2 a.m. replaying a conversation, revising what you should have said, feeling the weight of everything you are not, you already know what he meant. Let your shoulders drop for a moment. You do not need to solve anything right now. We are simply going to walk through the rooms Dostoevsky built in his novels. Rooms where people wrestled with freedom, morality, meaning, and the unbearable weight of being alive. And by the end, something may shift. Not because suffering becomes easier, but because you may finally understand what it has been trying to tell you all along. Chapter 2, The Underground Consciousness. There is a character in Dostoevsky's work who lives beneath the floorboards of normal life. Not literally, but psychologically. He is the underground man, and he is one of the most uncomfortable characters ever written. Not because he is violent, not because he is cruel in obvious ways, but because he thinks too much. He is hyper-aware of every social interaction, every glance, every slight. He rehearses conversations endlessly. He plans revenge for minor insults. He despises himself and everyone else in equal measure. And here is the disturbing part. He knows all of this about himself. He watches his own mind spiral. He sees the pettiness, the self-sabotage, the endless inner monologue, and he cannot stop. Dostoevsky wrote this character in 1864, long before Freud, long before the language of psychology existed. But he understood something that modern therapy is still trying to articulate. He understood that awareness does not always heal. Sometimes awareness is the wound. Think of the last time you caught yourself in a thought pattern.
Dang, that's deep. It's very interesting to me because I have not been that way in so long. It's almost like it was a different person. But there was a time that I remember being like that where I would, and they said like plotting revenge for minor insults. Like I would literally like play every single social interaction or like conversation, every single one of them, like every single conversation I had with anybody, I was just playing over in my head, like re-examining it and stuff like that. I don't do that anymore. Like that, it's crazy because that's just like gone. I don't know. Like I don't know when that left me, but I know what they mean. I definitely. Some of y'all can probably even relate to what they mean.
you did not like. Maybe you were being unfair to someone. Maybe you were catastrophizing. Maybe you were rehearsing an argument that would never happen, and you noticed it. You saw yourself doing it, but you kept doing it anyway. That is the underground consciousness. It is the part of you that watches yourself fail and cannot intervene. The underground man is not mentally ill in the clinical sense. He is functional, he goes to work, he pays his bills, but inside he is at war with himself. And the war never ends because both sides are him. Dostoevsky believed that modern life, with its emphasis on reason, progress, and rational self-interest, was creating a new kind of suffering. Not the suffering of poverty or disease, the suffering of self-awareness without purpose.
That's first world problems, yo. Like if you ask me, like that's where identity politics and all of the social issues that people fucking sit and talk and have all these great big discussions about, like that's where that was born. Because when people were in more need, in more of a need to like get things done or to like feed themselves and others, they didn't have time to uh delve this deep.
Suffering of a mind that has nothing to do but observe itself. And here is the quieter layer beneath that. The underground man does not want to be cured. He clings to his suffering because it is the only thing that makes him feel real. His pain is proof that he exists, that he matters, that he is not just another cog in the rational machinery of society. This is where Dostoevsky's psychology becomes uncomfortably modern. How many people do you know? How many times have you yourself held onto a grievance, a regret, a story of victimhood, long past the point where it served you? Not because you could not let go, but because letting go would mean admitting that the suffering was meaningless, and meaningless suffering is unbearable. So we make it mean something, we justify it, we rehearse it, we build our identity around it. The underground...
Man, that's crazy. So he said that we hold on to suffering because we want to give it some type of meaning, because it's hard to bear with suffering for no reason. That all makes sense to me.
Man is not a villain. He is a warning about what happens when the mind turns inward and finds no exit. Notice the weight of your body where it rests. Let the next breath come a little slower. The story is not over, but you do not need to carry it all at once. Chapter 3, Hyper-Awareness and Self-Torment. Imagine standing in a room full of people. You say something, a joke, a comment, something meant to be light, and the moment it leaves your mouth, you feel it land wrong. The silence is half a second too long. Someone's expression shifts. The conversation moves on, but your mind does not. For the rest of the night, and maybe the rest of the week, you replay that moment. What did
I remember when I used to be like that. Like now, I don't even think about that stuff. It's crazy. Like I literally don't even like think about it twice now.
I mean by that? How did it sound? What do they think of me now? Should I apologize? Would apologizing make it worse? This is hyper-awareness, and Dostoevsky understood it better than almost anyone who has ever written. His characters are trapped in their own perceptions. They overanalyze every interaction. They assign meaning to every gesture. They suffer not from what happens to them, but from their interpretation of what happens. The underground man describes it as being too conscious. Most people, he says, live on instinct. They act without endless deliberation. They move through the world without interrogating every motive. But for him, and maybe for you, every action requires justification. Every choice becomes a moral dilemma. Every conversation becomes a performance you are watching yourself give. And the watching ruins the doing. Here is what it feels like inside. You are at dinner with friends, you are laughing, you are present. But there is a second layer running underneath. A narrator in your head whispering, "Am I laughing too loud? Do I sound fake? Are they noticing that I am trying too hard? Should I have ordered something different?"
Yeah, I don't know. How or when or like why that has left me, but I thank God that it has now that I think about it. Like I remember back when I would think like that, man, and it's exhausting.
The experience splits. You are both the actor and the audience. And the audience is cruel. Dostoevsky wrote about this in the 1860s, but it sounds like a description of modern anxiety. The pressure to perform authenticity, the exhaustion of being self-aware, the sense that everyone else is moving through life effortlessly while you are stuck analyzing the mechanics of being human. A psychiatrist named Irvin Yalom would later write about this same phenomenon. He called it self-consciousness as a barrier to experience. The more you watch yourself, the less you can actually live. Dostoevsky did not offer a solution in Notes from Underground. That book ends in paralysis. The underground man does not change. He does not heal. He stays underground. But there is something we have not yet touched, and it changes everything. Because Dostoevsky did not stop with that character. He went deeper. He asked, what if hyper-awareness is not a curse? What if it is the beginning of something? What if the mind that torments you is also the mind trying to wake you up? Hold that gently. We will return to it. For now, just notice your breath. You are still here. That is enough. Chapter 4. Freedom again.
Man, I dig this dude's voice. This dude has like the most soothing like vibe ever.
Reason. In the middle of the 19th century, a philosophy was sweeping Europe. It said, human beings are rational creatures. Give them education, give them science, give them logic, and they will build a perfect society. All suffering, all conflict, all irrationality, these were just problems waiting to be solved.
Yeah, right.
Dostoevsky hated this idea, not because he was against reason, not because he romanticized ignorance, but because he understood something that the rationalists refused to see. He understood that human beings do not actually want perfect happiness. What they want is freedom, even if that freedom destroys them. The underground man makes this argument in the most provocative way possible. He says, give me a world where every need is met, a crystal palace of perfect logic and comfort, and I will smash it. Not because I am ungrateful, not because I do not understand that it is good for me, but because I refuse to be a key in a piano. I refuse to be predictable. I refuse to surrender my will, even if my will leads me to ruin. This is one of the most...
Damn. That's That's hardcore right there, yo. Like that's true though. I never thought about that before, but that is so true. Like people most of the times don't want their problems to be solved. They want the freedom to be able to solve them. You know, that's very interesting.
Disturbing ideas in all of philosophy, and it is also one of the most honest. Think about the last time you did something you knew was bad for you, stayed up too late scrolling, ate the thing that would make you feel worse, sent the text you knew you would regret, picked the fight you did not need to have. You knew better. You are not stupid. But in that moment, you chose it anyway. Why? Because some part of you needed to prove that you still had the power to choose, even if the choice was self-destructive. Dostoevsky called this the revolt against 2 plus 2 equals 4. 2 plus 2 does equal 4. That is rational. That is true. But if you tell a human being that they must accept it,
Rockefeller says, "What is the difference between you and Gatsby?" I don't know what. What, Rockefeller? Tell me.
that they have no choice, they will find a way to make it equal 5 just to prove they are free. This is not celebrated. This is not healthy. But it is human. A man named Viktor Frankl would later discover this same truth in a very different place. In the concentration camps, he observed that the people who survived longest were not always the strongest or the most rational. They were the ones.
Philosophically speaking, what's the difference between both? Are you asking me to answer that? Because if I answer that, I'm gonna say a whole bunch of insulting, crazy shit. Because Gatsby is on my shit list right now, dog, and he has not even made an attempt to make it right, bro. He has not made an attempt to make it right. From what I see, Gatsby's just all cap. From what he showed me. What's up, due diligence, and welcome in. Today we're taking a calm, cool, yeah, you right, Rockefeller, you right. I thought you were just asking. I thought you were just saying rhetorical. I thought it was a rhetorical question. But we're just taking a calm, cool stroll through some psychological stuff by Dostoevsky. I've never heard of him. You might have heard of him, dude. I don't know, Rockefeller. I like Gatsby a lot, bro, but he let me down, dog. And he let me down, bro, like at a time where I really like could have done without being let down. That's the way I feel. I like Gatsby a lot, bro. But I mean, I don't know what your point is. I don't know what your point is. I tell you, one difference is he's rich and I'm not. There's one difference, and he couldn't even answer a simple question about uh about a business venture making profits. Hey, dude, bro, crazy shit, dog. Uh, this morning, just a little bit a while ago, if you rewind it, you will see the I talked to Alexa, and my Alexa's name is Ziggy, and I'm like, "Hey, Ziggy, what's up?" And I swear to God, bro, out of nowhere, Alexa was like, "Good morning, Daddy Blind," And I've never ever told my Alexa to call me blind. I've never, fuck, I can't even like imagine telling it to call me daddy. But it was like, good morning, daddy blind. I was like, I unplugged her. And she had a different voice. She had like a different accent. It was crazy. But yeah, this Dostoevsky stuff is interesting, man.
Who held on to some small act of defiance, a hidden piece of bread, a mental image they refused to surrender, a choice, however small, that reminded them they were still human. Because
Hey, that would be funny. That would be funny as fuck if I was just capping and I had really tried to like program Alexa to call me daddy and dirty talk me and shit. That would be funny. That's not the case, but it would be funny, I can't lie.
without choice, without the ability to say no, survival loses its meaning. Dostoevsky understood this decades earlier. He understood that freedom is not just a political idea. It is a psychological need so deep that people will sabotage their own happiness to protect.
Hey, I'm looking for an AI shorty, bro. AI shorty will have all of the, or no, never mind. No, no relationships with AI yet. I am open to it though. I'm not saying don't ever say never. Never say never, they say. I don't even like talking to the AI like a person. Like that shit made me uncomfortable talking to Alexa like a person. Freak. Yeah, for real. For real. I mean, all Resto's chicks are AI, so like, if Resto could do it and be super cool and popular, then I could do it too.
And this is where the psychology of suffering begins to make a strange kind of sense. Let your jaw soften. The ideas are heavy.
That's for Kevin Resto. Let y'all's jaw soften. Y'all do enough work with it on each other. Oh, my bad.
But they do not need to be carried all at once. Chapter 5, The Revolt Against Rationalism. There is a story Dostoevsky tells in Notes from Underground. A man is given a list of his own best interests. Everything on the list is true. Everything is logical. If he follows the list, his life will improve. And he burns the list. Not because he disagrees with it, but because being told what is good for him feels like a chain. This is the revolt. Not against truth, not against reason. Against the idea that truth and reason are enough, because human beings are not machines.
You see, this is very interesting when you think about this in regards to the AI, and when you compare the what would you call it, efficiency, when you compare the efficiency of humans to AI, that's going to be one of the things that most certainly sets a human back, that the AI isn't doesn't have to worry about, because I'm pretty sure that the AI, well, I mean, maybe, excuse me, maybe the more advanced AIs that have fully emerged or whatnot, but the more like basic AIs and stuff, they don't have to worry about this human characteristic.
And a life optimized for efficiency is not the same as a life worth living.
Facts.
Dostoevsky
Facts.
was writing in response to the utopian socialists of his time. People who believed that if you just structured society correctly, if you eliminated poverty, ignorance, and superstition, human nature would
Oh, bro, you're fucking wrong for that, Rockefeller. Rockefeller says, this reminds me of the time I called ICE on my Latina ex-girlfriend and her whole family because she wouldn't give me top. You're a dirtbag for that, bro. Crazy. Fucking dummy. Hey, real talk, bro. The last apartment complex that I lived in had like a fuck ton of mojos. Like it had like so many mojos in there, dog. Like it was crazy, bro. Like so fucking many. And I like I never thought about it seriously, but like in passing, like joking between like me and my homies or me and my people, like I would always say like I could probably make a ton of money fucking uh calling ice on these bitches. Shit, you gotta pay for special requests in this bitch, Rockefeller. Hit that Cash App, hit that PayPal. I'll ASMR your ass off.
improve. Crime would disappear. Suffering would end. Everyone would act in enlightened self-interest. Dostoevsky thought this was not just wrong. He thought
No. I honestly don't even know what ASMR is. Oh. That's all I hear when I watch ASMR. Is that good enough?
it was dangerous because it ignored the irrational core of human nature, the part that wants, the part that resents, the part that chooses badly just to feel alive. A thinker named Soren Kierkegaard was
Just a
exploring
little.
this same idea around the same time. He wrote about anxiety as the dizziness of freedom, the feeling you get when you realize that your life is not determined, that you could do anything, that there is no script. And that
Nah, hell nah. Dude was a little bit off the mark with that one. Cause anxiety does not feel like that. Anxiety feels like a fat bitch suffocating the life out of your body, mixed with paranoia and panic and an adrenaline spike that makes your fucking back hurt and your eyes fucking hurt and stuff like that. Do you look up when told? Hell no, you only get smacked or what? I ain't never been told to look up. Fuck you talking about?
feeling is not always liberating. Sometimes it is terrifying, because if you are free, then you are responsible. And if you are
You know, you're a real weirdo, Rockefeller. I'm starting to wonder if you're really a Rockefeller, cause I would imagine that such a esteemed person would fucking be more Rockefellerian.
responsible, then every choice you make or fail to make is yours to carry. Think about a decision you have been avoiding.
Be real with me, G. You ever been with a man? Are you offering me your bussy, dog? I have not, Rockefeller. Tell me about it. Alright, on second thought, don't tell me about it. No, bitch. I ain't never even never even had no fucking gay thoughts. You're a gay thought. Rockefeller's a gay thought. Let's take a break, yo, because Rockefeller's gonna give me a headache. Okay. Hey, I don't know what's going on with my mic, yo. Cockerfella, Cockersmella. My mic is like going tick, 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 tick. I don't know what the fuck that means or what. So, give me a second to try to fix it, guys. Okay, do I sound normal? Do I sound can y'all hear me in the chat? Let me see. I don't see any. Oh yeah, I do. That was wild. That was crazy. Can y'all guys let me know if y'all can still hear me? Better? Okay. Okay. I don't know what happened. I think I think, or I don't know. I know that the cord was like pinched. I don't see how that would it was like the C charger cord or whatever. That was odd. But so what are y'all up to? What are you up to today, dude? Have you uh have you had any crazy interactions with AI lately? That Alexa thing fucking tripped me out, bro. Like like what's crazy too, dude. What's crazy is like the AI when I took the AI when I took Gem. I don't remember if it was Gemini or which one of them it was, but I took one of them to task with the whole time zones discrepancy. You know, because like there's a huge time zone discrepancy as it pertains to like the way the time zones are mapped out and the supposed size of the Earth. And I took it to task, and it actually was admitting that like the answer is not like out there for us. Like they just kind of chalked it up to whatever. And I know that if I was to like plug the Alexa back in and ask like where did that shit come from, it would do the same thing. It would just kind of give me the runaround. And now I just use it to help me study and write. Right on. Right on. I honestly like to me if the only thing I really use AI for is like learning a new like if I need to learn something real quick or like learn about something real quick, like a very trivial shit. I don't trust it. Or I don't trust the the knowledge that it's trained on. I don't think the earth I don't think the earth is I think the earth is a paradigm. I think the earth is a dimension. I don't think the earth actually exists in or I said paradigm. I don't think the earth exists in any either of those paradigms, flat or spherical or oblate spheroid. I think that that's a misnomer. I think the earth is a dimension. I mean, if you had to boil it down, I would say that it's probably flat, and it's probably fixed. To be honest, and just another thing, like for all of the astrophysicists in the chat, I know there's a ton of people that think that they like that they know all this shit about, but they really are just gonna run to Google to challenge what I'm saying. But for all of you guys that believe in the conventional ideas of like how the earth is and whatnot, when did gravity, like this is an honest question, when did gravity all of a sudden become commonly accepted as a electromagnetic phenomenon? That's what I want to know. Because in all of your science books, elementary, junior high, high school science books, gravity is attributed to what they call centripetal motion. Centripetal motion. And gravity comes from the force of the earth rotating. It's not actually an electromagnetic phenomenon at all, as we're taught in school, or that's what we're taught in school. But all of a sudden, which makes a hell of a lot more sense to me, it makes a hell of a lot more sense to me that gravity is an electromagnetic phenomenon, especially considering the fact that we have magnets in so many different shapes and sizes, and it's almost like everything has some type of electromagnetic field or force. And makes a lot of sense. Even the earth is a giant big magnet. A lot of people don't actually know what it means when people talk about the poles, but or like when they say polar opposites. That's because on a pole magnet, on a pole, magnet, which is like a stick. One end is the negative and one end is the positive. Now we have all kinds of magnets. We have disc magnets, we have plate magnets. There are all kinds of magnets. Now, the Earth happens to have this giant pole magnet that runs through the middle of it. Excuse me. You say that, dude, and I agree with that, but that's what we're taught in school. In school, that's what we're taught gravity is. If you go back to Isaac Newton, just do the, and I'm not saying to ask Google, because from what I can tell, Google and ChatGPT have incorporated this idea of electromagnetism, having some type of like whatever. Gravity is from centripetal force, according to the science book. So it's because the Earth is a ball, and the ball is spinning at a rate to where it's pulling the force toward the center. This is called centripetal force. I mean, they or like a ton of people, like science teachers and stuff, often as like a science project or like as a science doesn't say that it did. that's that's been the traditional explanation for gravity, bro. Like that's why I said, like, when did it change? When did it change? Because that used to be, I mean, at least while all the whole time that I was in school, the whole time that I would tutor people for taking their SATs, I used to tutor people and stuff like that. Like, I remember it's always been just like not that that was ever a part of the SATs or anything, but I just remember, like, for as far back as when I was reading a lot, that was the common understanding, was the gravity. And you could factor in Isaac Newton and Einstein and his crazy wacky theories and whatnot, but that was like the commonly understood explanation for gravity, was centripetal force. There was no factoring of the electromagnetic forces of Earth or any other celestial bodies. But all of a sudden, like, where did this information come from? Because I would put money that the information came from ChatGPT or the AI or whatnot, because it's a lot more of a reasonable explanation. But is it a true explanation to say that gravity has this electromagnetic component? Terrence Howard. Terrence Howard's a trip, bro. Terrence Howard's a trip. I don't know how I feel. I don't know how I feel about, like, all of his. I know that his shapes and shit. Well, no, you know what, bro? I gotta say, Terrence Howard, you're answering my question, right? Because Terrence Howard is the one that factored in. Uh, he factored electromagnetism into, like, all these pre-existing equations and shit. I know the he is of the mindset that he has uh, reached some type of, like, unifying field theory or whatnot. Yeah, definitely a free thinker, for sure. I mean, hopefully, I take uh, anything that I see in, like, public spaces with a grain of salt. Shit, it all could just be trickery and fuckery. But I find him inspiring. He's handsome like me. Can't front. He's incredibly handsome like me, so I can relate to him. No, I'm just playing. I'm just being stupid. But it's very reassuring to see people thinking outside of the existing fucking boundaries, man. There you go, Congerfeller. Yeah, yeah. That was a no Diddy compliment, Rockefeller. Oh look, this is something that I need to enact in my life, yo. How to trick your brain.
Imagine being able to build anything just by thinking about it. Meet Base 44.
Shut up. He wants Terrence's butt. Okay, you do not rise to the level of your goals. You fall to the level of your systems. Wow. Profound shit. I gotta write that down. You do not rise to the level of your goals. You fall to the level of your systems. Now that's some shit that I need to be repeating in my head, yo. Because I don't actually have healthy, disciplined systems. Now, I'm telling you guys, like the change that I'm about to have to like enact, man, it's going to be severe. And I don't even know if you guys will ever even like see most of it because none of it really pertains to anything that I do online. But like I'm about to tighten up the ship. I'm about to start trying to like work out some type of system of discipline that maybe I'll start doing yoga for an hour a day. I don't know though, man. Like it seems so. I'm so fucking pessimistic about life, bro. Like I'm so pessimistic, and I think everybody's a liar and a piece of shit for the most part. So like it's gonna be the hardest part of everything is going to be like getting rid of that mindset. Cause it's like I want to do these things that will like help me, but then it's like, well, why do I want to do that, man? Cause like I don't want to be of use to any of these asshole people. Like that's what my brain says, and it's not a healthy thing. Let's see if this thing helps us.
Most people believe that a lack of discipline is a character flaw, a weak, shameful trait, something that some have and others do not. However, this view is completely misguided. What few people know is that discipline, as it is generally understood, goes against the way the human brain is designed to operate. And this is not a metaphor. It is a neurobiological fact. The brain did not evolve to prioritize long-term goals, abstract targets, or heroic self-control. It evolved for one thing: immediate survival. Over millions of years, humans adapted to conserve energy, seek quick rewards, and avoid any unnecessary effort. In other words, your brain does not want you to go to the gym. It wants you to stay on the couch, because that saves energy. It does not want you to write an article or study. It wants you to open TikTok because dopamine comes faster. And this is not a defect. It is simply biology. The problem is that modern society demands just the opposite. To thrive, we are expected to be disciplined, productive, and consistent. But this creates an internal conflict. On one side, a brain that has been shaped to act like a lazy hunter-gatherer. On the other, a world that demands behavior from a focused and resilient supercomputer.
Oh, you want to come up, dude? I'll drop the link. What's not letting me drop the link for some reason? Hold on. It's saying I'm spam. Alright. You might have to add the whole HT. Oh no, you know what? This is what I'm gonna have to do. Hang on. I'll Okay, hold on. I forgot I modded my other channel for this. Oh yes, they call him the streak. Phew! Dee dee. The fastest thing on 2 feet. Bro, you know I have like I can sing like 20 or 30 songs from like the 1940s, and I have no idea where the fuck that came from. Oh yes, they call it. Oh shit, that was loud. Yeah, I might be, bro. But the A is probably stands for like Alaskan or Australian. I'm Australian intelligence. What's up, dude?
What it do?
How you doing today, bro?
Man, just getting up and at it, man. Seeing that you was on. And I've been listening and trying to get my life together, man.
Hell yeah. So what does that mean? Can you give us any more details on what that means for do?
Oh man, I was just being you
No, I
know,
mean like as it pertains to the conversation though, like because I know that you're always thinking about the same type of things we are. Like, what is some of your goals for like the long term and stuff? Just to get
man,
into like
my
that heavy shit right away.
for sure. Like the best the best way that what I'm doing right now is I'm working on a book. It's gonna be my contribution to the world. You know what I mean? And the stuff that you and I talk about are different perspectives, how we see the world. I'm gonna put it in a book and kind of like expose the way that I see the world to the public because I think it's all a sham. You know what I mean? I think we're living in a hierarchy world and they put all these things in front of us to keep us from, seeing how the world really is. And I'm working on just exposing that, you know what I mean, and going down the line and like and demonstrating it, right? Not just talking about it, but being able to like point to uh, points in history, factual historical points, and saying like, look, this happened and now this is going on. This happened and now this is going on. This happened until we get to the present, right? You know what I mean? So I think that's my long term goal. You know what I mean? Right now, you know what I'm saying? That's one of the important things that I'm working on in my life to like actually make a positive contribution and that way also there'll be something that still survives me after I'm gone. You know what I mean? My great grandkids can see how I thought, even whether if I'm right or wrong. You know what I mean? So I'm just working on something that will survive me and hopefully be a positive contribution to the world.
you're not scared the the there's no place for like books anymore.
Uh, I think for the general public, that's true. But and I think like the younger generation coming up, I think it'll be even more so true. But I think the seekers, you know what I'm saying, the people that want to really understand how the world works, there's always going to be a place for information. And also, I think the future of information, I think things will be more interactive. Like books will be like movies. You know what I'm saying? So hopefully it'll be turned into a movie, or I can turn it into a video, you know what I mean? Have an audio book, you know what I mean? Like I gotta write it, and then the format after the fact can come in a lot of different ways. But yeah, books are going, out of style, out of trend, becoming obsolete. But I think in the future, I think you'll be able to like experience books in like a 3D format, like a virtual reality type shit, to where you like experiencing the book like you're in it. You know what I'm saying? Like you're it's going to play like a movie, and you're going to be sitting in like a theater. You know what I mean? So I
Hell
think
yeah.
so. Yeah.
Well, like I always feel like with books, bro, you almost have to like start a event or like some shit. Like it has to be like a fucking an event. You know what I mean? Like Twilight, like Harry Potter. Like it's so hard to make anyone take notice of a book. Your book can kind of fade into obscurity after you've spent all this time writing it. You know?
Yeah, I think that's going to be true, but that shouldn't stop me from writing it, because the people that's meant to have it, the people that's looking, the seekers and stuff, is going to fall into the right people if you looking. You know what I mean? I don't think the powers that be, if I'm right, is going to put my book in people's algorithms. Know what I'm saying? Like my book is not going to be promoted if it's any semblance of the truth, but I still feel like I have a duty to write it and express it, and if nothing else, get it out of my heart and mind and give it to the world as a gift, man. You know what I mean? So
Well,
I got a duty to write it one way or the other.
have you thought about well, first question is a two-part question. Have you thought about blogs? Have you ever considered writing blogs? And number two, have you ever considered writing a companion book that actually talks about the things that are sensational and that would get you like that amount of attention?
No, I haven't really thought about either one. I started up my channel, and it became a distraction of what I wanted to really do. I was trying to do too many things at once. I got a 9 to 5. I got a family. I'm married. I got a couple side jobs. So I'm just trying to focus on one thing at a time. I come and I chop it up from you and other channels from time to time, and it takes away from what I want to do. So I'll do the book, and then I'll probably try to do another book after that. And but when it comes to my second book, I'll probably start jumping off my channel again and create more videos for people to consume, to just expose the way the world like really is, or not expose the way the world really is, but just give some of my perspective on how things work.
Hell yeah! And if you do, or when you do, bro, finish your book. If you, like, just let me know where I can get a copy, man. And I definitely want to pick a copy of that up, because I mean, you're an incredibly insightful dude, bro. Like, real talk.
Appreciate it. You too, man. I think you need to focus your powers too, man. You know what I'm saying? I think you're incredibly insightful too. I think once you focus up, you'll be strong.
Hey, it's in the workings, bro. Like, in the for the past week, like that. My pessimism fucking extends to all aspects of my life. So like, I really am like that about everything. But in this last week, bro, like the realization, Gatsby actually, salute to your daddy Rockefeller. Gatsby was the one that brought me the realization and said like, bro, you said it yourself, this is the golden age of AI. uh, you should have the AI help you to come up with an idea and start producing some type of capital. And like, bro, my mind has been like so just like so fucking just obsessed with this idea since he brought it up, bro. Like that's all that I can, and I'm already moving all kinds of shit around in my life to make that happen, and it's gonna definitely benefit me in many ways. You know what I mean?
You said using AI to engage in commerce. Is that what you said?
No, to use a what I'm going to be doing is first I'm going to use the AI to elicit an idea from myself of a piece of capital that I can produce that would be beneficial to society and profitable. You feel me?
Yeah, for sure,
So
for
like
sure.
basically Gatsby was supposed to give me a frame. That's the reason why I was so pissed off at him, bro, because he just bailed out on helping me for no reason, like a bitch. But basically the AI can like elicit these ideas from me better than I can from myself. So like just having conversations with the AI about it, and we already started, but it's very basic right now, very generic, very generic ideas. But we're gonna just I'm just gonna keep refining the idea until I've come up with something that's actually like feasible that I can do or that I can create, and that's like when it comes to like business, bro, find a need and fill it. It's like the best philosophy in my opinion. You know what I mean? So
No, absolutely.
that's what I'm trying to do to find a need and fill it.
No, no, no. Indeed, I think you know, business wise, there's definitely a thing, but I think in general, that's what men should be doing anyway. You know what I mean? Whether it be like inventions, like
Yep.
making the world a better place, like books. I think that essentially that's what I'm doing too. I'm not necessarily worried about the profits, even though I want to be, profitable. I would like to be rich. And I think that just comes with it. I think if you do something good enough and it catch on, that's gonna come with it. You know what I mean? So yeah, I think like all men should be striving to like, fill in those gaps, fill in those needs. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Do you have like I barely found out within the last few years, bro, that I have like these things where I like self sabotage, and cuz dude, I've had like tons of opportunities to actually do what I am setting out to do now. Like I could have done it many times in my younger years with a lot less effort and a lot more help, but I would always like self sabotage. I also had like messed up habits and stuff like that. Do you feel like you have like a game plan to success already laid out, or are you still working on that too?
No, I definitely feel the same way. I get in my way a lot. And like and I think like the guy that you was playing, whatever his name is, the dude that's philosophizing right now, he was making a great point is that we may not be programmed for long term goals, like the conceptual goals, the invention goals, like, like you were saying, like we like are just, sporadic, chaotic right now, survival type creatures. And we have to fight against those instincts and try to, overcome it with discipline and, you know what I mean, and good habits and stuff like that. So that's always a fight. You know what I mean? And also life be life. You know what I mean? Like you have other
Yeah.
responsibilities, like these bills be weighing on everybody. You know what I'm saying? And you know what I mean? Like that's the biggest drag, what I mean, to me is like being a slave to this economic system. You know what I mean? So we all want to try to find some type of economic way to like, counterbalance that. Like blind as you and me as well. Like I just want to be free. And when I say that, you know what I mean? I want to be free to be able to do whatever I want whenever I want to do it. And the only time I really experienced that freedom is when I sold drugs and I had the money to do whatever I wanted to do whenever I wanted to do it.
You just
You
read
know,
my mind. I was just waiting for my turn to touch on that, bro. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
yeah, yeah. So it's not really the money. The money affords us the freedom to do whatever we want. You know what I'm saying? So it's really for me, it's just like freedom. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to be tied down in all these different ways. I don't want to be judged on, you know what I'm saying, all of my different thoughts. I tell people this often, and I teach my son this. I believe that every man has a duty to dictate the world in the way that he sees fits, and great men do. You know what I'm saying? That's how America came about. You know what I'm saying? That's how every nation comes about. When you think of the greatest men in the world, people just, get a group of like-minded people and push their issue. And I think that it ain't stopped. You know what I'm saying? And we just need to do the same thing by any means necessary. Like we shouldn't be like blind to words you want to see. If you got to chop somebody's head off in order for it to be that way, so be it. You know what I'm saying? I think we've become soft. You know what I mean? Like we're not the men that we used to be. You know what I'm saying? Back in time. So
Yeah.
yeah.
You're 100% right, bro. You're on point. Everything you said, and it's crazy because like when you started saying that, what you're saying, uh, it occurred to me like, bro, people don't realize like how often the opportunity for me to literally just like fucking disappear back into this old life, like how often I'm like, bro, I could pick up a bird and make 60 racks off that bitch. And but the thing is that like the odds are with AI and fucking surveillance and stuff, like I would probably like 95% most likely get jammed up and get like fucking 20 years or something. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. The struggle is real like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, ain't nobody getting away with too much these days. Like, you got to have a real life system and a team and people all on the same accord. Like you said, with everything watching you and with all the how you say, the biological informants, meaning the humans, and then the
Hmm.
AI informants. You know what I'm saying? So now you got to deal with the human and the AI informants. So it's going to be hard. You know, you got to be on some real life cartel shit and have a different language and be underground and have your team know all this shit too in order to like really make it big. So yeah.
Yeah. Well, when I look back, bro, because the like the last time that I really was deep in the game was like probably like upwards of 10 years, and when I've been around it in the last like 5 years. I've seen it, not been around it, and I realized like, bro, these people are probably getting their dope from fucking government employees and shit. Like when you look at the way that it exchanges hands like so efficiently and like comes down the pipe, it's like this shit don't move like the way that it used to. You know what I mean? And,
You said
and
people are getting their dope from the government.
yeah, that's what it looks like
Yeah.
because it
No, I
comes
agree with that.
it comes in like waves. Like when the Fetty hit, bro. Like I remember seeing that shit happen like right before my eyes because it was like this was what this demographic of users use, which was different. We'll just call it dog food. Uh, like dog food was like the fucking shit, and then like the Fetty came in like this wave, and it's crazy because like the first wave hit, and like 90% of the people that got the first wave all got jammed up, and it's like crazy because like it's like who the fuck is telling? Like if it's just like the person, I don't know. Like it just seems like the person that's giving it is the person telling it from the most likely. You know what
Exactly.
I mean?
No, exactly. Because, the people at the top, you know what I'm saying? Like the top hustlers, most of the time, they don't get caught. It's all the pushers. You know what
Yep.
I'm saying? And it seems like the people at the top, like the plugs and the cartel, are in cahoot with the police, and and the government is giving the shit to the cartels to push, and at the same time using the police to jam the same motherfuckers up. You know what I'm
Hell
saying? So it's that endless cycle. And the feds got popped for that shit. Remember with the guns and shit, the Fast and Furious type shit. Like they got popped for that shit a while back when they was pushing the drugs. It was no secret that especially in the ghettos, I think they found out that the feds like left a truck unlocked full of guns in like Chicago one time. You know what I'm saying? And then yeah, it's all kind of stuff. They didn't got caught with their hand in the cookie jar a couple times. You know what I mean?
well,
So
isn't it like a commonly accepted fact, like already that they did start the crab epidemic? Like the government did?
exactly. Exactly. And then you know they over there in the poppy fields over in Iran and Afghanistan and all that type of shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? why are you messing with them people and they business? You know what I'm saying? Why are you trying to dictate what they do with they shit over there? You know they got to be, you know, cuffing some of it or all of it. You know what I mean? So come on, man.
And then we make all the fatty and blame it on China and shit. It's crazy.
It's crazy, man. It's a, you know, they got their hands in it, but you know they can't be, you know, looked at it in that way. They got to be looked at as the good guys, but they making money off of everything, man. The government got their hand in everything.
And that's the reason. See, bro, like this is where my pessimism like is rooted is in things like this because it's like okay, one of you're supposed to have faith in a few things, bro, like God, the law, fucking your parents, and like in the last 10, 15, 20 years, bro, all reason to have faith in all of those institutions has fucking been taken away. Like when you look at the law, the same way the pharmaceutical companies have like an accepted amount of deaths when you release a drug into the market, cops have an accepted amount of people that get away with the crime. So like cops are really the one, or not even cops, but like fucking agencies are really the ones that like fuel the fucking crime because they put all the drugs, they put all the guns out, they like and they sweep some of them back up, but a whole lot of them are still like what I guess what you would call like accepted, whatever acceptable casualties or what I don't know what you would
Yep,
call it.
yep, yep. I would say that casualties is a good word for it. Yeah, yeah, man. It's business. Everything is business. You know what I'm saying? Like I agree. I agree with that 100%. And I'm a little pessimistic about it too. And I think we need to stop putting our faith in the institutions and start putting our and these conceptual things and start putting our faith in one another, man. Find like-minded people because, man, whenever you look into history, the big changes have always come from like bloodshed and war. And I hate to say that, but that's just the reality. And people don't want to accept that, and engage in it because we've become pussies. Don't nobody want to die for what they believe anymore. And it's going to take that every big change. That's how it goes. Somebody got to get their head chopped off. And that's just how life has always been. You know what
Well,
I'm saying? If you don't like the way the world is, man, you got to chop somebody's head off and change it.
I would just slightly disagree and say that the faith needs to be put in self, bro, because uh the big changes that come about in the world are like the society doesn't advance gradually. Society advances on the backs of great men that have separated themselves from society. You feel me?
Yeah, I would agree with that.
So and you're constantly told that's the thing too, bro. And I you know how like me and you had the conversation we've had it a few times like about wanting to be great or wanting to do something great. I realized, bro, like my goal is to do something I feel great about now. Because like to do something objectively great, you're not ever gonna really be able to do that unless you're a martyr. You know what I mean?
I don't know because it just depends on what you see as great. Because I think like you can come up with like inventions, you know, medicine, technology, you know, wealth. You know, what I mean, coming up with some type of business. It may not be great for the world, but it may be great for your family. So it just depends on what your aspirations are. Like, you know, what you want to do. So, you know,
Well,
my
that's
grade and your
what
grade may
I
be different.
realized. That's what I realized, I guess, because like I was thinking of like an objective grade, and I realized like if I feel if my family is like taken care of into like the future, and I feel good about it, like even writing a book, bro. Like I have an opus in my mind, dog, that I've been kicking around for 20 years that I haven't even began to put into text because it's so important to me. You know what I mean?
Man, and start that shit because I was getting discouraged with me taking my for me taking so long with my book because I'm on like a year and a half, maybe 2 years. I got like 26,000 words, and but whenever I watch the dudes that got good books and stuff like that, and they being interviewed, they always say, yeah, it took me 4 years to write this book, 6 years to write this book, 10 years. So I can't feel discouraged. You know what I mean? So I'm gonna just keep pushing. Just keep pushing. It may take a lot. Most of the great books take years to complete. You know what I'm saying? So it's all good.
Well, I've written a few. I've actually partnered with a person and written a book that's like moderately successful. It's smut, but what do you call it? It's a good book, and I've written a few books that I literally just like didn't even like. It I don't know, bro. It seems so hopeless, bro, to like go through the whole like getting published and getting your book, especially when you look at what happened with what's his name? What was that guy that got shot? Charlie Kirk.
Yeah.
Uh, Charlie Kirk got shot, bro, and before no, as a matter of fact, it was before the event even happened. Before the event even happened, the AI, and again, this is another thing that people haven't attributed correctly to AI. They think it's like some conspiracy, but the AI on Amazon had already written a book that was like the life and death of Charlie Kirk, and it talks about his death and everything. And it's like there's these automated systems that are producing fucking content so fast, bro, that it's almost in like negative time. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I don't know what to think about that, but I know what you mean. You know what I mean? I don't know what that means. You know what I'm saying? Like that just put another, a hopeless layer on things. You know what I mean? Like I know things are insurmountable when you think of everything as a whole, but man, you can only do what you can do. You know what I'm saying? And it may be small in the greater aspect of things, but sometimes, small things can make big differences once people catch on. You know what I'm saying? So I'm optimistic in that way. You know what I'm saying? And I got to keep my optimism, or else, people delete themselves. You'll get down and don't want to do nothing. So I try to keep my optimistic, even though I know things are, hard. Things are hard. The world, it looks dreary. It looks, hopeless. I may not ever achieve the things that I want to achieve, but I'm not going to never let go of my optimism to have the potential to make the changes that I see fit. And I'm going to keep trying. I'm going to keep talking to people like you. I'm going to keep getting on the internet and expressing my views. And, like Tupac says, I might not be the one, but maybe I can spark the mind. You know what I'm saying? Even with a book, something like that. You feel me?
And
So,
you give me optimism, bro. Our conversations you renew my optimism because the one thing that I always am left thinking after our conversations is that the one thing that is irreplaceable, that it's unfakeable, is human creativity and like storytelling and sharing and stuff like that. You know what I mean?
you absolutely, and you rejuvenate me too because I get so down and out when I jump on these other panels and nobody agrees with anything that I'm saying. It makes me feel like I'm crazy. But then I come over here and talk to you and we be vibing it out. You know what I'm saying? And I'll be feeling like hopeless in the sense of like the democracy that they push, right? Whenever I look at everybody as a whole and I think about democracy and the conversations I have with people, like think of how much people disagree with you blind on simple stuff that you know is true. And I'm like, man, democracy can't work because there's just so many idiots out there. And I hate to say that, but it just seems like that's the case. You know what I mean? It's people that think they know everything, but don't even, ain't even past the small stuff. And that's even with you and me both, because you don't know what you don't know. And you know what I'm saying? And you don't know that. You know what I'm saying? But it's
And
just I
they want
go
to
ahead.
take away what you do know because you don't qualify for the popularity contest.
Oh yeah. Yeah, that's a whole nother monster in and of itself. You get people that's right just based off popularity or just based off how many laughs they can get. Like you can be absolutely right, but if somebody can roast you, then it don't even fucking matter. You know what I'm saying? If somebody can clown you. So that's another thing we're dealing with the YouTube streets. But man, whenever I get on these panels and I talk to people and I think about democracy, I'll be like, man, we we ain't gonna make it because don't nobody know shit. You know what I'm saying? Like it's just crazy.
Everybody's too, and I was just talking about that earlier before you came in, bro. Is that like people are too dependent on other people's cosign to make their own minds about anything. Like what you were just saying, bro. That's every day of any interaction I have online. Like because I have chosen to uh lead with my goofball attitude instead of my like fucking think I know it all shit, and like let people perceive me as a goofball, bro. Like or even because a lot of people don't like my confidence or don't like the way that I'm not like fucking like them even or whatnot. But anything I say, bro, like I can say the most simplest, basic, most like fully accepted like whatever, and people automatically just disagree with it just because they don't fuck with me. And it's like do you really think that you're correct when you do that? You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's horrible. It's horrible. People are double down on bullshit just to be right. You know what I mean? Because they don't want or they don't want you to be right.
Yeah,
It's crazy. It's madness.
bro,
It's
people
madness.
fucking hate to learn anything from the Blizzy dog, I tell you what.
Yeah, man. People can't take information from certain type of people and stuff like that. Like I got an administrator, you know what I'm saying, in my profession and shit, and me and her be going back and forth. And whenever she's wrong, it just burns her up blind. She be trying to correct me all the time. She can't wait to correct me. But 90% of the time, blind, I be right. And it be burning her up because she's over me. You know, and she's a woman at that. And she's just always trying to just come behind me but she's just wrong all the time. And it just
Fuck.
and I don't even understand. I'm like, it seemed like she in competition with me. You know what I'm saying? I'm just like, bitch, just do your job. I'm just trying to do my job. Just do your job. It don't matter who was right. It just matters getting the job done. You
Do
know what
you
I'm saying?
do you try and give her like small wins every here and there to like fucking keep her like from being a bitch?
I try to stay away from her monkey ass because I'm the type of person that'll end up saying something that I can't take back. Because I'm to the point to where I'm just like, I want to tell her to just shut up. You know what I'm saying? Like, get the fuck away from me and let me do my job type shit. You know what I'm saying? So, because she feels some type of way. I think she feels some type of way. I'm just trying to do my job. So I just really try my best to stay away. You know what I mean?
Yeah, well, that's the way
Um,
Wrestler and his community is with me, bro. And it's like it's crazy because they don't realize. Like, Wrestler one time said the very telling statement of he said, "I'm of the mindset that whatever I say, you're gonna disagree with me off the bat." Which what he didn't even realize what he's saying is anything I say, he's going. That's what that boils down to. Like, if you like really think about it, he's basically saying that he basically prepared himself to disagree with everything that I'm saying. You know what I mean?
yeah, and he projecting it onto you.
Yeah. And it's
Yeah.
like I tried to
If you
explain that
always in the defense mode, y'all never gonna have constructive conversation.
exactly. That's why like when I realized that I started handling him with more of like just uh not needing to be right. If I'm right, then time will tell that, or like science or whoever wants to measure that shit. Like I don't need to be right in this space. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but some people blind can't deal with being corrected or being wrong, especially in public. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
some people, it burns them up. Like uh, you can be corrected in public and it won't bother you. Some people, it makes them feel, insignificant, not but incompetent. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Especially when they trying to portray themselves to be, something. And some people, they just cannot do it. They don't.
Especially by
Uh,
somebody like me with no credentials and no fucking formal education and shit like that.
right. And I say this often. I like the phrase stand corrected. You know what I mean? I believe that most people cannot stand correction and most people can't stand corrected. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's how but they don't even understand that that's how you grow. And people say it out their mouth like, oh, I don't mind correction, but in the moment they can't do it. They may
Exactly.
profess it out their mouth. I don't mind it, woo, woo, woo. But in the moment, they can be absolutely wrong, and somebody try to correct them, and they'll take it offensively. You know what I'm saying? Like somebody's trying to attack them.
Facts.
So
They didn't even know what the fuck to think when I said that. When I said I stand corrected, I don't think they had ever interacted with anybody that actually said that in sincerity. And when the first time that I did over there, and it's crazy. What's crazy, bro? And I'm just calling a spade a spade. I wish Wrestler would be in the chat and be willing to talk about some of the stuff with me, so we could like hammer out where everything went crazy. But Wrestler blames a lot of the shenanigans on his panels on me, bro. But it's like I don't see I don't see how he does, because all I tried to do was stand firm in what I knew to be true. You know what I mean?
yeah, I don't know what y'all got going on. I don't know. He blame everything that's going wrong on this panel on you. I don't even know what that fucking means.
Yeah, he
Like,
be and like I love wrestler. I like wrestler a lot. I To be honest though, you know what I think is the I think wrestlers used to intelligence being counted by how many people have signed off on your report card and your accolades and stuff like that. I don't think he's ever dealt with somebody like me and you that our intelligence was cultivated in a completely different way, but it's still equally as real. You know what I mean?
indeed, that was well said too. Yeah, yep. I can't express it no better than that. That was well said.
I mean, because
Um,
there ain't a lot of people like, bro, when you think about it, dog, like, just think about the hustle in and of itself, bro. Like, the people that do and deal and, like, everything. Like, a lot of these people won't even make it to the internet, let alone, like, this deeply entrenched into a community that discusses deep philosophical insights and shit. You know what I mean?
True. I can't wait to get a hold of somebody like an Andrew Wilson and hit him with some of my shit, man. Because I'll be listening to these dudes spew this BS and trap people into like these philosophical traps, and man, that shit is just it's just they play games with themselves with language. A lot of stuff is just like poetic rather than reality. A lot
And
of stuff is. Go
it's
ahead.
Andrew Wilson himself, bro. It's funny that you mentioned him, because it's funny because I've actually crossed paths with a lot of these guys, and I will, like, the same as you. I'll challenge them, like you were saying. I'll challenge them, but very lightly, bro. And Andrew Wilson actually caught on to it quick, bro. And he straight up answered the question before I had a chance to ask it. And he said, he said the reason he was talking to the panel on the particular panel that I happened to be on, he like was really like took a liking to me and shit, tried to like be cool with me. I wasn't really into that, but he was like he was talking to the rest of them. He was like, the reason none of y'all won't ever be successful is because you're not entertaining. And like he pretty much summed up like why he does and says what he says and does. You know what I mean?
And that's real. And I don't have no I don't have no ill will towards him. Besides, I just don't agree with his political theological stance. But as a person, I think he's a man and he's standing on what he believes in, what every man should. And I just want to challenge his positions. You know what I'm saying? But there's people that dislike him personally. But I think he is a man and he stands on his shit. You know what I'm saying? And he don't have no qualms about it. You know what I'm saying? If he have to check you, he gonna check you and shit like that. And you gotta respect that. You know what I'm saying? Any man that stands on his shit, you know what I'm saying? And he gave you some great game too, because that's really real. He does a good job of entertaining while he's kicking his shit. You know what I'm saying? So yeah. But
And
I think
my,
I would get in his. I think that I would get in his ass though. I chopped it up with one of his peons before, and I had him out of his body. He started. I blended I blended him up so good. He started talking about he loved. No wonder why black people abort their babies, and I hope you abort. You know what I'm saying? Started doing. You know what I'm saying? That type of stuff. So that's how you know that I was blending him up because I wasn't even on none of that. I was just challenging his positions, and they just go there. Now the conversation is that. Now he got everybody laughing, and now it's trying to become something else because I got him so much on the ropes on his positions, he can't do nothing but just throw out distractions. You know what I mean? So
I hate that, bro. I hate that for you, dog. I hate that for all of my melanated brothers and sisters, dog. That's fucking like that's real evil, bro. In my opinion, that's ignorant evil, if you ask me. You know?
yeah, they can't help it. They want to if they want to keep their position. You know what I mean? They got to cause some distraction and chaos. They don't want nobody to see the chink in their armor type stuff. So I get it, but it's just hard for like the audience and stuff. You know what I mean? Whenever you really trying to make a true step in a different direction, the audience is going to take the entertainment and run with it and be like
Yeah.
and then I was trying to say something on the other side of it too, but it slipped my mind.
And you see, bro, exactly what you're talking about. That's the reason why, like Resto has been a clout chaser since I known him, bro. And me and him met before, like all of these people in this Panaverse space. And what do you call it? Me, dog, like it's crazy because like he really thinks he wants that. I honestly don't think that Resto would be, or anybody is like truly fulfilled with clout and stuff like that, bro. Because when I first came to YouTube, dog, I had a whole team of researchers, bro. Every live stream I did was to like double digits, 50, 60 people, like out the gate. And I had a whole like team of people I worked with and shit. And I realized that it's like okay, like I was earlier I was listening to that thing and it talked about updating quickly. Like I update quickly, so like I shift positions and shit, and people aren't okay with that, dog. Like people are just like really primal online, dog, and just want to like fucking fight and bicker and stay dug in on their positions and shit like that. And I can't do that, dude. Like I've forfeited so much more clout than I've like held on to, dude. It's honestly crazy, you know?
Yeah, man, I don't have the time or the patience to be trying to clout chase, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, and plus, like the way that my personality is, I just don't have it in me. You know what I'm saying? I'm not an entertainer. You know what I'm saying? Like, by no means, and don't want to be. You know what I mean? So it's just, I'd rather just, like I said, write a book and put it in the world, and whoever catch it, and whoever don't. I could be wrong, I could be right, and it just is what it is. But I'll feel better about myself. You know what I'm saying?
Hell
And
yeah,
I gotta,
that's
that's the way I got to
respectable.
live.
That's respectable, man. I am an entertainer, bro. Like I really do like to like entertain people. I like to connect with people and stuff, but not at the sacrifice of any of my ethics or beliefs or morals. You know?
Yeah, I think you are a great entertainer. You got a great sense of humor. You know what I'm saying? If you could keep on mixing those two together, man, you'll go far. You know?
Yeah, I honestly, bro, like when I get something going, dog, like I really want, hopefully, I'm hoping that, hopefully, like everything will get, uh, just like go up for us from here, bro. And I really hope to be able to like work with you on something bigger, dog, because I feel like, you have the type of mind that doesn't get fucking utilized a lot, bro. But could do fucking amazing things, dude. And I'm not trying to glaze or nothing. I'm just saying, like,
No, I appreciate it. And man, what really got me is that my my ex wife is really smart. She's like a RN and got like a anyway. And then I dated another chick that have like a PhD. But then, when we chopping it up, she got that narrow scope. But outside of that scope, she's just a regular you know what I mean, a regular person. You know what I mean? These people are not, you know what I'm saying? And that's what really kind of just like catapulted me. Like everybody just has their scope, you know what I mean? Or what they choose to focus on is what they know. You know what I mean? And once I realized that, you know what I mean, I just started narrowing my focus on what I wanna, you know, know. And but you know what I'm saying? So anyhow, I just don't get discouraged by these people with all these accolades. You know what I mean? Like you said, like you may not have all the accolades, but you have focused on a lot of these different areas, and you know a little bit about a lot and can put things together. So it makes you just as strong or maybe even stronger than someone that has like hyper focused on one thing, right? That's not broad. You know what I'm saying? So it's all good. We
Bro, I think we could go. I swear to God, bro. I fully believe that we could go toe to toe with many people that consider themselves experts and stuff like that in certain things. Not in all things, of course, because like a lot of things have like a very detailed information that you learn in your expertise. But like when it comes to philosophy and stuff like that, bro, like or even theology and things of that nature, things that aren't like scientifically cemented. I think that we could go toe to toe with them in any kind of debate, bro. Don't you?
agree all day long. And then also having the capacity to be like, okay, you got me on that one. People don't have that capacity. You have that capacity. Those people are the worst people. You know what I'm saying? That's why I don't like the blood sport debate. I'm not in this shit to blood sport debate. I don't want to just be fighting just to be fighting. I'm trying to get to solutions. I'm trying to get to the truth of the matter. You know what I'm saying? It's fun sometimes to debate, but when you just doing it just to do it and doing it just to win and just arguing just for the sake of arguing when you know you're wrong, it's just like that's just too much for me. You know what I'm saying? I'm over it. It's just like, bro, you know you're wrong. Shut up. Let's go to the next thing.
God, them blood sport debates, bro. I took that shit so personally, dog. Like I was like, "Fuck y'all for life, all y'all."
No, for sure. It'll get you wrapped up in it, man. You gotta disengage from that shit because that shit will have you want to fight somebody in real life. You know what I'm saying?
For real,
Yeah.
dude. I couldn't do it, bro. And especially because like easy, fucking easy. Uh bro, I went over there on like cool ass terms, bro, and like we're chopping it up all good, like homies and shit. And then like, dude, I literally asked him a question, bro, that I didn't even care what the answer was, bro. I just wanted to like give him the opportunity to like fucking feel good about himself in a way and just talk about something he knew. So I was like, bro, I'm just starting this streaming shit, bro. Like, you got any pointers and shit? I swear to God, bro, it didn't take an hour. It probably took like 30 minutes for this dude to be like, "You're trying to steal my fucking secrets and trying to steal my audio." And I was blown away, bro. So like I devolved into like just making fun of everybody and shit. Like and like I always regret behaving like that, but I'm good at it, bro. Like I was teaching people how to roast and shit on my stream a while back. Like I've gotten that shit down to a science, like, but I don't like behaving like that. You know what I mean?
No, for sure, man. Have fun. I think that's one of my issues, man. I take life too seriously. Sometimes I need to relax. Sometimes that's why I like it over here because it's light over here. You have fun and have deep discussion at the same time. You know what I'm saying? And it don't never become contentious. You know what I'm saying? I see you have so many contentious conversations with all these people, and I just don't understand how it gets there. And I always say that with you, but it's always light and productive whenever we get on with each other, whenever we on it, when we on it with each other. So, keep being you, man. You know what I'm saying? Don't let these people discourage you. I feel like you strong in the things that you know. You know what I mean? So
I appreciate
just
that. We're cultivating a community here, bro. Like it's not many of us yet, but like I'm literally like cultivating. I'm not allowing certain types of fucking engagement. I'm not allowed like and you may not be able to see it outright, but I am very much cultivating a community of people here that are able to like appreciate and communicate and like share in the ways that we appreciate doing. You know what I mean?
indeed keep it up. I enjoy it over here. It's refreshing. You know what I'm saying?
Hell yeah, appreciate it. And I love having you here, bro. No Diddy, but uh, it's crazy because the pound words too, like, be making me feel self conscious about everything I say. Like, does that sound sus? But but yeah, it's crazy, man. Dude, I got to get something to eat, bro. I get hungry after having these long introspective talks, man. Thank you though for joining us today, bro.
Anytime. I'll get at you next time, Blind. Peace.
Yes, sir. Take it easy. All right, guys, that is it for me, man. My stomach is grumbling, and I gotta go get something to eat. I hope that you guys are blessed up. I hope that y'all's feet are nice and warm, and y'all's butt cracking showing, so the wind can't blow in your butt crack. And I hope that you guys ain't hungry. So, other than that, man, I don't really know what to say other than there's your side, there's her side, and there is the blind side. Blind side news. Y'all be good. I'm out. Peace.
Welcome to my show where the curtains breathe smoke. Spotlights blink cold, telling secrets that I wrote. Heart on a tightrope, mind doing backflips. Every line confessing, dressed up as ad-libs. I juggle my demons, they call it a performance. Trauma in costumes, anxiety's chorus. Tickets will scar you, you pay with attention. I trade you my flaws for a moment of mention. The mic is a mirror and I rap to my face. Trying to recognize me in a digital space. Crown full of gold from my past that I survived. They clap when I bleed, saying damn, he's alive. Bass in my chest like a second heartbeat. I'm a tortured soul, so I torture the beat. The stage is a cage with invisible bars. Can't let my light dim, I'm a shining star. Applause is a drug and it's easy to get addicted. Love the attention but hate how it's scripted. They want me consistent, I'm chaos in shoes. All will be forgiven if I can just stack these views. The void comes to me when it needs to confess. My shadow got followers, I guess I'm a success. All my friends stay scared, text me every day saying I'm great. I say get out my way. Welcome to my show where the hope wears a mask and the faith is a dare, not favor you ask. I shake hands with doubt, we got history deep. He knows all my secrets, I doubt he'll say it Pete. My voice is a weapon but I aim it at myself. Self-sabotage and I put me on the shelf. Welcome to my show, the lights are too bright. You can't see the tears when I say that I'm alright. I learned how to laugh in emergency rooms. I learned how to dance with impending doom. Dreams try and creep over me at night. They whisper don't quit, then they're gone by the light. I treat every beat like it's the last confession. Pastor is rhythm and church is in session. I stand with ambition, repent with regret. No betting on futures that I haven't even seen yet. Mine mostly dead, occasional spikes. I keep finding versions of myself I don't like. I shake hands with strangers inside of my head. They all want control and they all want me dead. But I'm still here breathing on borrowed time, turning bad luck into borderline rhymes. Welcome to my show, art from the ache. Every word was a risk I was scared to take. Broke with big dreams and a cracked phone screen. Now I'm rich in regrets and what I could have been. I used to want fame, now I want peace. Not to be hungry while everyone feasts. I pray to the sky, give voicemail replies, so I leave messages hidden in my lines. My soul needs a nap, my body needs rest. Welcome to the Blizzy Blind Show, it's the best.